Life after Spirit Airlines former employees speak out. That's right, family. We have former employees that are now stating their case, letting everybody know what their day-to-day is like now, because when you talk about positions that they let go when it came to the Spirit Airlines, main positions was like the flight attendant, right? So the flight attendants, you guys, they were constantly out and about. They were always on flights. They were always, they were always busy. You know what I'm saying? And they're going from place to place, potentially country to country, state to state. And all of a sudden that stopped within a blink of an eye, right? That just stopped within a blink of an eye. And now they find themselves, at home, where now they, have to figure out alternative things to do in order to fill those kind of a void, you know what I mean? And it's not necessarily like a regular job either, you know what I'm saying? Because you literally had the opportunity to travel, while on the clock, like on other jobs, when you're doing like, medical billing or office work, retail work, that's not like, it's not something that you really got to get over. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, cool. You go, you're down on yourself for a little bit, and then you bounce back at some point, and you go pick something else up. But these guys in this specific situation, like, that's a different task, man. You know what I'm saying? You used to always, being in the air. You're always talking with the customers that are on the actual flights. Your customer service is consistently, going on. And like I said, these guys now have to find a way to fill that void. And not just that, now they have to also look for another occupation, in which we talked about in the other videos. Is like, you just can't run and go jump and be another flight attendant, especially being in the predicament, that they're in when 17,000 people have been laid off. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to say that you're going to go and, become a flight attendant again. You can fill out as many applications as you want. It does not mean that you're going to be selected. So that's what other people have to realize, when I was talking about, how, I think the jokes is a little bit, rough, because, these people are trying to find a way to, find themselves. It's not something that you can just bounce back from just, out of nowhere, because everybody kind of, dedicated every bit of time that they had, when it came to resource. Like, remember, you can't get time back. You can make more money, but you can never get more time back. And they sacrifice a lot of time, you know what I'm saying? And it's just one of those things where, you just kind of, feel bad for them, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, if you ain't never been laid off, you probably wouldn't know, much about, what's going on. And, but that's what they're dealing with, and a lot of people on the outside looking in, they have a lot of opinions, oh, they'll be fine, man. You start filling out your applications again, and somebody will find you, somebody will hire you, or you have people in the comments talking about, oh, they knew that this was gonna happen. They should have been ready for, to get laid off. You know what I'm saying? And it's just real, a lot of these people that, that are on, on the platform that make these comments. These people they're very sick in the mind. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of people, man, a lot of comments, very sick in the mind, man, because for you to think that somebody is supposed to know when they're going to get fired is crazy. Like, if that was your gift where you can forecast every day-to-day event, then why the fuck would you even be working? You're at that point, you're like a superhero, right? You're like an X-Men. But these people didn't know that shit. Maybe did they have, ideas that the company could have been going through, ups and downs? Then you could say that, you know what I'm saying? But to say that people knew that they was gonna get fucking fired is insane. And that's what, the type of comments that I've been receiving, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, that's just the people on the outside looking in that ain't never been in these type of situations before. Because there's a lot of people always speak on things that they have never been a part of, but they have the most to say, But with that being said, guys, in these next couple of clips and stuff like that, you'll be able to get an understanding on where their mindset is, what's it like day to day now, that they're not doing what they've been doing. And, you'll get a better idea. Appreciate you guys taking and listening to this video. St. Nicholas brand. Peace.
Ugh. Well, it's day 6, 7, who knows now. It's 11 o'clock and I'm eating a burrito for dinner in the dark on my couch. So unemployment is going great. I'm totally fine. I'm fine.
Hey y'all, ex-Spirit flight attendant here. That sounds so funny saying it, but it is what it is. So I wanted to hop on here really quickly because I have a lot of people asking me, so did you apply for such and such? Did you apply for this? Unfortunately, y'all, it's not that simple in the aviation industry. In order to become a flight attendant and to apply for a position, the position really has to be available. It's almost like the lottery. With those legacy airlines, they probably open up their applications like twice in a year. And during those 2 times, you have thousands of flight attendants applying for a position that's probably only open to 50 to 100. So, I do plan to, of course, when applications do become open, I am definitely going to be applying. But I just want y'all to know that it's not as simple as y'all may think it is. We just cannot get up today. Like with Spirit shutting down on Sunday, there was no airlines hiring like Monday. Airlines are just gradually starting to open up doors and open up applications for us flight attendants and Spirit crew in general. But yeah, it's not so simple. It's not so easy. The process is just in itself is just strenuous, but we're all going to get through it. But I just wanted to say that really quickly because I know a lot of people are asking, and that's what it is, y'all. So when applications open, I am absolutely going to be right on there, putting my information in, uploading my resume, and hoping to get a call. But yeah, that's it, y'all. Hope everybody's having a great day. Peace out. Talk to y'all soon.
Hey fam, I'm finally getting some willpower to make this video. It's been very hard the past 4 days for me. If y'all didn't know, I was a flight attendant for 7 years, and on May 2nd at 3 a.m. in the morning, my airline ceased operations. At midnight, we got an email that said, if y'all have to work tomorrow, just don't show up. We're canceling all flights. After running for 34 years, it doesn't exist anymore from one day to another, which is something very hard to grasp on, And I was very happy working for them because I was with them for 7 years. It allowed me to gain seniority very quickly. I was able to choose when I wanted to work and where I wanted to work and take as much time as I needed off, which allowed me to build other income streams and even date people in other parts of the world. Like a year and a half ago, I took a whole year off to date someone in Brazil. And before that, I took 6 months off to date someone in New York. The opportunity that the airline gave us was amazing. And I thought I was going to be able to keep that for the rest of my life. We had even people on the line that lived in Spain, in France, and they were just taking time off. And whenever they wanted to, they would just move back to the United States and go back to their jobs. And now that opportunity does not exist, which is very sad. But yeah, I was very happy working for Spirit Airlines. I would wake up every morning and just think, oh, I hope I'm not working with Susan today, that senior mama that likes everything by the book. Or it would be like, oh, I hope I'm working with my best friend today. It's gonna be the best trip ever, Sean. Or maybe it would be like, oh, maybe it's Jamie, it's gonna be a fun trip and it's gonna be making all those jokes on the intercom, or telling his stories that nobody believes. But yeah, all of that is gone now. It's been very difficult and I'm very grateful for everyone that has been overly kind to me this past weekend, and it was on Monday when it really hit me, and it's just like looking at all my work stuff, you know, it's just like, what am I supposed to do with it now? You know, my badge, my bags, my uniform I have nowhere to wear it anymore, or I'm never gonna sit on that jump seat. I'm never gonna say those announcements anymore. I'm never gonna see my coworkers anymore at work. So yeah, now I have to make a plan, which is, everything has been so recent, so I haven't. I have to cancel all my itinerary I had for this year, which I usually spend my summers in Europe. So I have to do hotel bookings, cancellations. I was gonna travel with my best friend that also works for Spirit, Sean, to Asia. We had a plan to finally go to Asia this year, and now everything's just canceled. But yeah, I think I'm gonna take like a week to clear my mind off, maybe a week or two. Right now I'm just gonna hit the gym, the other place where I'm the happiest. And maybe I'll visit home. If you didn't know, also I'm from Honduras. It's a small country in Central America. I'll probably visit my mom and spend Mother's Day with her, just to clear my mind a little bit, and then come back and get my stuff together again. But yeah, thank you for everyone that has stayed till the end of the video and has listened. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, at least better than mine.
All right, today's motivation is to get in that gym. I just finished up my third gym session of the month, and I've been in the gym now 3 times in the last 4 days. And this is coming from somebody that was procrastinating the whole month of April. I had 0 gym sessions in the whole month of April. Special shout out to my barber, Nelly the barber. He's the one that pushed me to get back in the gym, and then to take care of my health as well. So I'm gonna pay that motivation forward. I'm gonna push you guys as well to get in the gym. Go today, right when we get off work. I know you're gonna be exhausted, but take control of your mind, get in there. One thing that motivated me is my barber said, if my employer told me to get up at 5 a.m., I'm getting up at 5 a.m. But if you can't tell yourself to get up at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. or whatever it is, then you have no self-control, and somebody else has more power over you than you have over yourself. So take control. You got it.